Okay. So yesterday what we have did is so we have created the not yesterday last class. So we have created the one object, a simple object, and how we are going to assign the value to the key. So the way how we are going to fetch the value, we are going to be using the we are going to use the some dot notation, and there is a one kind of index. Okay, so in this way we have this is just a primary. This is just a basic example of the object. So object is nothing but the just it's nothing but a kind of a key value pair. Okay, key value pair. So this is a one object. So here customer one content the some having the some John value. So here the key is the name. And coming to the example two, I have added the multiple key value pairs. That's it. I have added the price, location, and family details or something. So and then the same way how we are going to call the value by the property key. Okay. So again, example. So now here there is another approach how we are going to call the object. So for the third example, you can say that this is the third example. So here I have taken the one customer ID. I have initialized with the one, and I have taken the customer file. So here I have taken the one. Okay, so one, and I have given the some name value. The way how we are going to call that, this is the way we are calling. Okay, so let me say this is a example three or something. Say that example three. And coming for one more example, so how to use the function in the object. So how we are going to use the function in the object in the sense this is we know that already the how we are going to create the object just now, right? Just now we have seen that the way how we are going to create the object, this one. Okay, so now what happened, right? So the way how we are going to calling the object by using the function in the sense, so for just I have created one normal function, just normal function which is returns the some name here. You can give the any kind of the name here which is returns the some name. Okay, so that means that whenever I'm going to call this one, it simply returns the some value. Okay, so what happened, right? I have taken the again one key value. Instead of the John here, just I'm instead of the John, so I just have given the one value. So customer name. So what will happen, right? The when I'm going to call the this object with the name key, so I got the output. So this is we have covered last class. Okay, so now how we are going to modify the value, how we are going to modify the value of the object, how we are going to modify the value of the object. So for example, already I have taken one example here. So with the help of this reference, I have taken the one example here. So the same example, how we are going to modify the value. So now what I'm doing right now, we know that. So we know that how we are going to call the value. We know that. So if you are going to call the name, so how we are going to call that? Just we are going to call with the name. So I wanted to modify the some name here. Okay, so here I wanted to modify this some clerk to something some otherwise I wanted to I wanted to change the some family details. You can say that street name, or you can say that travel to India, anything. If I wanted to just modify on that, so for that just simple, that's the same way how we are going to modify the value. That's it, how we are going to modify the value. So for example, for that, so I'm going to modify the value name. So how we are going to uh, modify the value? So here Clark is there, right? So I'm going to modify the Clark with the some Clark Junior. Okay. So for that, customer, okay, customer two dot name. So we know that this will definitely return the Clark value. So here what I'm doing is just I'm going to equal to. So what I'm doing that Clark something I wanted to modify the some junior. Okay, junior. Just I'm going to modify it with the junior. That's it. Okay. So now we are going to call the same value console.log. So how we are going to modify, see that. Now if I'm going to call this one now. So when I'm going to call this one, now sir, now see that before we know that up to here, up to before 192 line number code, it will give the some same object, but I have modified the value. So once I modify the value, see that what could be the value. Okay, what could be the value? Just check that. So this is the just how we're going to go to the modify the value. So modify, I just modify the value. So save all here. So now here, let me save this. And you see that latest value close. So otherwise here I am going to latest value something. Okay, some latest value. See that the latest value here. I didn't get the clerk. I got the clerk dot junior. So JR in the sense junior. Okay, so I just modify the value. Okay, so you can modify the value also. So even though if you wanted to modify the price, so what we are doing that, I don't print that, just write to that. So if you wanted to modify the price, so just to take the key value, which first of all you have to focus on which value you have to modify. So you wanted to modify the location, or if you want to modify the street name or something. You have what is the value you have to want to modify. First of all, you have to focus on that. So as of now, I'm going to modify the price. So just now, if you're going to modify the price, so now here I'm going to give the something 201, so sorry, 201 dot 201 something. Okay, so now even if you see that now, you can get the latest record. You can get the latest record. Okay, so now when I'm going to call this, when I'm going to print this one, same value, you can see the latest value again. So here, if you see the latest record, you can see the what is exactly, you can see the value. So earlier when I'm going to installation, there is some different data. After the modification, this is some different data. So in this way, just if you wanted to modify the value, so just to take the value, what is the value I wanted to take the value and assign the this value to the what is the expectation. So where you are wanted to exactly to update the thing. So here I have taken the some clerk.junior. I am going to updating to the name. So I'm going to update into the name. So here I have taken the price. I'm going to update into the some price. Okay. So in this way we can do that. So even if you wanted to not location also, you can do that location. Okay. Even if you wanted to change the location also, you can do that. That's no issue. So if you wanted to change the location, you can change the location. So earlier this is a Washington, right? I'm going to change the location. So the same way, how we are going to add the some new things. I wanted to add the new property to the object. New property. So as of now, we know that we are having the different properties right now. So we are having the name property. We are having some prices, location, okay, family details. I wanted to add the one new property of this. Okay, so like here I feel that uh, you know so here family details is the right. So here I wanted to you know add the new property to the family details. Okay, so how we are going to add the new property. So as of now, let me copy paste this one. So for example, I'm going to just copy here. So I'm going to take the copy and paste here. So I'm just created the one new property. You can say that new property. How we are going to add the new property. So just now I have update the new property. This is new property. Just to try to understand. So I just update that, and now I'm going to create the new thing. Update to the existing value. I'm going to create the new value. So how we are going to add the new property. Okay. So for that, so let me copy paste here for this one. I'm just copy and paste here. Let me remove the, as of now, I'm going to remove the family details here. Just I'm going to remove the some value. Just I remove that. That's it. Let me take the, this is a customer thing. So just assume that I have taken the one object. Okay, something I have taken one object. I'm having the different values here. Okay, I'm having the different values here. Okay, so anything if you wanted to add that, that's okay. Why I'm going to remove this in the sense, this is a huge objects, a key and value pair. So that's the reason I have taken this one. So for without confusion only, I have deleted this one. Otherwise, you can take the one. So otherwise, I'm going to remove this one for understanding purpose. Um, so now what I'm doing right now, you know that we know that whenever I'm going to create the this one before the uh, so just I'm going to print it here. That's it. So one console log. That's it. So before adding the new property customer 3. So I just added the one console log. Okay. So before adding the console 3. So customer 3, we know that this all the values going to be prepared. So now I'm going to add the property now. So after that. Okay. After that. So for that, what I'm doing right now, let me take the one value. So I'm going to write this some like I wanted to add this some customer. 3, this one, right? I'm going to add the new property, some new property I'm going to add that. So I'm going to add the new property. Let me say that some date of birth. Okay, no problem. Date of birth. So I'm trying to add I'm going to take this object. I'm going to add the new property. So date of birth, I'm going to give that to this guy. So 10 on the 10, 19, something 1967 or something. I'm going to this some date of birth. Okay, 1967 something. So at the same time, I'm going to add the one more property. So I will show you the output. Don't worry. So I'm going to add some habits. So this guy habits or something. Okay, habits. I'm saying that habits. So see that once I'm going to add the property. So new properties I'm adding that. So habits I'm going to adding the one in the form of array. So I'm going to add the some watching movies and some some playing tennis or something. You can add anything. So for example, when I'm going to prepare that, so I'm adding this some new property. So this guy customer 3, it doesn't have the at the time of initialization here, before up to here, it don't have the anything. So what I'm doing that explicitly I'm adding the records. This is the way you can add the records. Okay, so now what happened, right? Now see that once I'm going to add that, so just I'm going to copy paste here just for after adding the new property values. That's it. I change the console log. So before up to here, before I'm going to add the values, and once you are going to adding the values, I'm going to add the date of birth and habits to the same object, and then I'm going to print the data. So see that the data. So before I'm adding the records, uh, okay, it is updating to me. Uh, where is that? Okay, customer 3. It's overriding here. So actually I'm getting the output only, but console writing the console log only I'm having some doubt. That's it. So let me save all this one. Let me refresh. Okay, now see that before adding the new values. So before I didn't add the new values. Um, yeah. Okay, before I'm adding the new values, these are the values. But I think it is getting override at console log. Even actually it should not override the values. Okay, I'm going to add this something star star, something for understanding. Uh, okay, no issue. So just try to understand. Otherwise, if you see that if I'm not adding this one, so try to understand. If I'm not adding this one, see that. So before I'm going to add the values, so I didn't add the values. Okay, see that I didn't add the values. So let me comment at this one. So just for understand, just I'm going to comment it. Uh, just I'm going to remove the before also. Just I'm okay. Um, I'm just going to give the customer 3 for understanding. Okay, customer 3. So see that customer 3, I got these values. I got these values, customer 3. Okay, so after that, let me comment at this one. I'm going to uncomment it. I'm going to just add the records. Okay, just I'm going to add the records, two records, date of birth or something. So see that once I'm going to add in the records, see that I'm going to copy here. I'm going to copy, paste over here, and see the records, and see the records. Now you see the records. Okay, so based on that, just when you're working on that, right, what will happen, right? So try to maintain the some proper comments. So before, just by default make the commented, just enable this comment and check the data. Okay, after that, once you are comment this one and add the records and try to do this one so that you can get the records. Okay, you got it right. So so when I'm going to add in the records, it is affected to me. Okay, so now you can see the liquor records. So the way of your adding the property in the sense, you can add what I mean said that, right? At the time of installation also, you can initialize the data in case if some situation you might be forget to add the new record. So you can use this kind of code approach also. You can do that. So in this way also you can do that. Okay, now how we are going to delete the record? I mean, how we are going to delete the value? So you are going to modify. I just modify the value. So I did the modify the value and I'm going to use the value. So even index signature also okay, but even this index, this one also is okay. So while you are going to adding the record, this is also okay, fine. So this is also okay, fine. This is also okay. Okay, this is also another approach. Even this one also, this approach also, you can do that. Here I just use some index signature. That's it. That's it. That this is so this index this index signature also. That's okay, fine. So already I have given the some comment here. So while you are going to declare the object, so either you can use the dot symbol or you can use the index signature also. So you can represent either string format or without string format, no problem. Okay, so even this is also it will work. So here without Ignacer syntax also you can do that. Either you can use this one or you can use this one. That's no problem. You can get the same output. So that's your wish. The coding, the way we are writing the code shell, that's your wish. But my recommendation is use the first approach, this approach. Don't go to the second approach. Okay. So now come back to the next example. So how we are going to delete the record? So how we are going to delete the record? How we are going to delete the record? So I mean delete the record in the sense delete the property from your object. How we are going to do that? So for that, let me take the one example here. The same example. So the same example. I'm having the some records here. I wanted to delete the a street name and travel to India. These two properties I wanted to delete that from this object. I wanted to delete that. Okay, these two things, street name and travel to India properties. I wanted to delete that from this object. Okay, I have taken the one customer to 6 object. I wanted to delete these two values. Okay, so for that, the simple thing is just use the delete keyword. Delete keyword, use the just a delete keyword and take that what is the object you want to delete. Take that object and dot which one you wanted to delete. So I wanted to delete the street name. So that's it. Okay, that's it. So now what will happen, we know that. So console.log here, so just to take and use that. So now if you take this value, you won't see the value. So see that now the value how it should look like. So last value, if you go to the last one, this one, see that whether there is no street name. You can see that there is no street name, but I have given the street name, but it is not printing because of I have deleted that. Because of I have deleted that. So I'm deleting the street name from the customer 6. Okay, I'm deleting the street name from the customer 6 variable. So if you wanted to delete the, another thing, so I wanted to delete the travel to India, something I want to, you can delete also, that's no problem again. So here I wanted to delete the travel to India. So if you use the travel to India, deleting the travel to from India. So last console log, check the last console log here, the last console. If you go to expand that, you see that there is nothing. Family details available and is admin location name, but there is no travel to India. But see that in this way you can delete the record. In this way you can delete the property. So modification, addition and deletion of the object. So everything, the main thing is this is the property key is the main important. Okay, so property key is the main important. So object in the sense, so for example, so the way how we are going to declare the simple based on the key object, simply in your mind we have to get the idea object is nothing but the key value pair. That's it. So if you understand that concept, object is nothing but the key value pair. So all the things you can do very easy. So the way how we are going to adding the new property, the way how we are going to deleting the property, the way how we are going to modify the value. So everything is the very easy. So the way how we are going to modify the value, where is that here? Okay, so now with some more example about the objects. Okay, some more things. So I'm going to create one more file, objects advanced something. So let me take the objects advanced JS, something advanced. Okay, I'm going to discuss the more about the advanced concept here. So uh, now before we are going to touch the object concepts, so first I can say that this is the object advanced. I can say that how we are going to work with the uh, I can say the objects. That means what I mean is that object with function. You can say that. That is, I can say that advanced object advanced. I have given the file name. That's it. Okay. So here for this one, just I'm going to declare the one variable. So let me take the one. Sorry, not declare. I'm going to declare the one function here. Within the function, I'm going to create the one object. Okay. So let me take the that function name is uh, here this one. So I'm just taking the one function. So let me say the get customer exact information, that function name. Okay, so what is the thing is whenever I'm going to call the key, so when I'm going to say that name, I wanted to return the only that value, that the exact that information. When I'm going to say that price, I wanted to receive the only that word I exact information, that customer exact information I wanted to get. Okay, whenever I'm going to say that family details, I wanted to get the only exact that I don't want to enter the object. Okay, I don't want to get the enter the object. So go to the index.html. Here I wanted to update the script right here. So here I'm going to take the this script. So I'm going to working on the script right. So let me take the script and src. So I'm going to take the script, close that, and this one also close that. So what I'm meaning that when I'm going to use the when I'm going to what I mean is that when I'm going to pass the key, I wanted to get the value. That's it. So here let me take the get customer exact information. So in this case, I wanted to pass the some name. Okay. So when I'm going to say the name, I wanted to get the clerk. When I'm going to say the price, I wanted to return this one. So for that, for capturing this name, so let me take the one word. Let me say that is the key. So anything is okay. So when I'm only key, I'm just giving the key. You can give the anything here also. I just give the key, but don't use the semicolon or something. Just use the A to Z keywords. Okay. I use the key value. So what I mean that when I'm going to say the name, I wanted to return the name, exact value, right? So for that, what I'm taking, right? So let me write. I'm going to write the one few lines of statements here. So what is the statements in the sense? So I'm going to take the customer, this one, customer. So this one, I'm going to take the customer here, and I'm going to take the key. So key right now it contains the name. We know that when I'm going to call in the function, exactly this will capture the what is the value it contains. So I know that this is the name. So let me take. So when I'm going to call the, we know that already. We just know, just we have discussed, right? So what is the exact object? So object, how we are going to call the object with the key value, correct, right? So the key value are you can here you can say that uh, dot notation, or you can use the index signature also. That's fine. Anything is okay. Anything is okay. So either dot symbol or anything is okay. Okay. So in this way, so anything is okay. So for here, I'm going to use the index signature. Okay, index signature. So always I'm going to prefer the index signature only. It won't give the any conflicts to me. So I just use the index signature. I'm going to use the key. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to store this value into the one kind of a value. So let me say that customer uh, exact something, exact info, something I have given, something I have customer exact info. Okay. So now what is the expectation value here? I know we know that. So whenever we're going to return the customer exact info, it will give the data. So we know that what is the value it is going to print. It will be definitely print the clerk only. So for example, I will prove you on that. Okay. So what is the thing when I'm going to give the value name? So key is going to be capture the name. here. So coming to the customer here, we know that key here it's will be the name. We know that here key is the name only here. Customer, so customer where I have the different properties, we are checking with that this key. So when I am going to checking this key, I will definitely get the clerk. So I'm going to capture that value into the this customer info. I'm going to return the data. That's it. So let me, once I'm going to receive the data, so I'm going to capture this whatever the value. So I know that as of now I'm going to whatever the value let it be, I'm going to capture this into the you know like one kind of a state, you can say that customer info something. So customer key info, anything is okay. Customer key info, anything is fine. Okay, so now I'm going to print this value. Okay, now console log customer info, exact information. I'm going to get it that. So is it fine? Everything is working fine. Why it is not getting? Okay. Control check. Once again, it is not printing. Just I'm checking whether it is file is working or not something. No, console log is not printing. So let me stop. So again, I'm going to run this application. Oh, it is not working. 1 second. Let me cross check. I'm going to check with another script. I don't know if this script is not working. I'm going to check with another script. Okay, this script is working. Uh, Actually, spelling mistake here. The main thing is, see, you looks like the script, but I have given the SCIRPT, but this is not the keyword, correct keyword. SCRIPT. Some situation we don't know what is exactly. So now we can see that. Okay. Um, so now we can see the code. Now we can get the data. See now. Uh, so now we get the data clerk. Okay. Now when I'm going to give the some price now. Okay. Price. See that price. I got the price. So when I'm going to give the location. So this is the location. So in this way, we can get the data. In this way, we can get the data. Okay, location. Okay, so now next thing is the same thing here, the same thing. Uh, I can call in this way also. So here, just to try to understand, this is the first. So I don't want to give the, hard coded value. So let me take the one variable. So same way, this is the first approach we can call. So second way, same the same approach. I'm going to do the another way. So this is the first approach. Second way. So second way, I'm going to what is the way in the sense? Just I won't take the location from this one function. Okay, I won't take the I don't want to pass like this way. So what I'm doing, right, I'm going to take this something, let me say that where, so I'm going to take the value, some customer key. Let me say that customer key is equal to something, let me say that price. Okay, so I can pass it in this way also. So in this way also. So as of now, again, so now what happened, right, I have taken one customer key, that is the price. I'm going to I'm going to pass the customer key to the function. So here I'm going to take the, so here, see that what I'm taking here, I'm taking the value, some price value. So this is another way. So actually this is okay. This is every day we are doing this kind of approaches only. But today I did some new style. So customer key I have taken the price. Instead of the, so here is this customer key, I'm going to pass to the function. So now this key, what will happen? This key contains the, what is the key it will contain? It will contain exactly what is the key it contains, in the sense it will contain the price. This key. Okay, so now what will happen again here? It will come into here. Exactly it will contain, what will the JavaScript complete will take that, in the sense customer is here. It will take like this customer something. So I pass the price, right? So price. So customer price already we are aware of that. Just now in the objects, many examples we have covered. Customer price definitely it will give the what kind of value it will give. It will give the this one 100 101. So whatever the, so this is the value. So here 100 it will contain the 100. So whatever I'm going to return that. So I'm going to capture that, whatever the return the value I'm going to capture by using the customer key info and printing. I'm printing on that. That's it. Okay, this is the way we can get it. This is very simple. I'm going to calling the function, passing the parameter, taking the value from that customer key. So anyway, this key value contain the price. So price. So if you are having the confusion, here's I'm going to give the double quotation here. So if you have the price, so price, this in this way we can get it that. So price. So it will get the price. So price in the sense this one. I have given the value this price. So it will take that. Okay. So this is the way we can set the value. And how we are going to create the multi objects in the array. How we are going to create the multi objects in the array. So multi objects. So already we know that how we are going to create the object, how we are going to multi object. I wanted to just create the one, how we are going to create the one example. So example looks like this one. So this is the way you can create the multiple objects in the array. So I'm taking the one customers list. So this is a complete object, just to try to understand what I have did. So I have taken the one object and I have taken the one object and two objects. I'm saying that multi objects, how to create the multi objects. So first object, so what is the first object which represent, you can just imagine this is one kind of a customer object, you can say. Okay, it's contain the name, price, location, some details, first customer and second customer. In this way, we can create the object. So multiple of what I'm saying that multiple object. What I'm doing that multiple objects. Now the time is how we are going to access the value. How we are going to access the value from this array. We know we already worked on that. How we are going to access the value from the array. We are already completed that basics and advanced. So how we are going to access the value from this array. From this array. Okay, so first of all, I wanted to access the first record of this one. So how we are going to access the first record of this one? Just we are simply console.log. So customer details. So what is the value? Just try to understand customers list. So I'm taking the customers list. Okay, so I'm going to take the first record. How we are going to take that first record? You can by using the zero. By using the 0, we can get the first record. When I'm going to click on 1, this is the second record we are going to get. This is a 0 index and this is the first index, right? So for example, I'm going to print this. I'm going to show you into the output. Okay, let me take this one. You can see that. Let me save all. Save all. See, this is the first object. Sorry, this is the first index. I'm printing the first index. The question try to understand what I'm explaining. How to create in the multi objects that's completed. So we can create the multi objects. Multi objects in the sense more than one. That's called a multi object. So I have taken the two objects here. Okay, I have taken the two objects here. First one and the second one. Otherwise, in the technical, other words, you can say that I'm taking the two customers. That's it. Each customer having the different data. Each customer having the different data. I'm having the Clark customer and having the one more Peter senior customer. I'm having two records. Okay. So now I have if I wanted to print the Peter senior, so just I have taken the customers list 1. If I wanted to print the Clark, just to take the 0, then you can get the data. You can get the data. Okay, so now I wanted to access the family details of this guy, Clark. Family details. I wanted to just to get the family details. When I'm going to 0, we know that I got the entire the data, but I wanted to get the family details only from the first customer. So how we are going to get the family details for the first customer? Okay, so first of all, task 1. I'm saying that task 1. Try to understand task 1. Okay, task 1. Task 1. What I'm saying that task 1. How we are going to get the first customer of the family details? Okay, how to we are going to get the first customer of family details? That is a task 1. So task 1. So here, how we are going to get the family details in the sense? So first of all, take the what is the expectation we want. So let me take, just I'm going to copy this one. Just I'm going to, this will definitely give the first record. Just now we know that. Copy. And this is giving the object to me. Customer 0, what is the, so you have to keep in mind customer 0 here is giving the object to me, right? This is not giving to me any number or float value. Float in the sense of decimal. So number, float, character, string, anything. This is simply defined. It is given to me object to me. Object in the sense this one. You can see that this is object. I'm getting the object. Okay, so because of, just imagine that we are working with the multiple objects. Okay, array in the multiple object. It is giving the object. So I wanted to get the family details. So we already know that how we are going to access the value from the object. Just to get to click the, just I'm going to use the again one syntax called I mean this index signature. Click on that. That's it. So now we can get the data. So that's it. So console.log, see that data. Very simple. So now you can see the second. So if you wanted to some meaningful information, try to get some family details of the zero index customer. So you got it. That see that only I got the family details. In this way we can get that. Okay. So how we are going to get the kids of the first customer? You can say that. So I wanted to get the kits of the first customer. So when I'm going to click on that, I got the, so here you can see that he is having the two kits. So Smith and Robert Jr. So I wanted to get the kits of the first customer. Okay, so just I'm going to copy again. So I'm going to take this one. This is definitely give the first object to me. That is the first customer. Okay, what I'm intention in the sense how we are going to get the kits of this first customer. Kits, I'm saying that kits. So up to here family details, I got the family details. So I wanted to get the kits of the first customer. So kits again family details here. So here family details, which is nothing but in the format of object here. This is not in the format of number or anything, float or anything. This is simply, this is an object. So family details again, how we are going to call the key of the object? By giving the name, right? By giving the property name, property key, right? So that's why. So come back to here, family details here. Okay, here. So again, I'm going to use the index signature only. So here, what I'm doing, right? See here, that's it. So I'm going to say that kids. That's it. This is the way you can access the call. In this way, this is the way you can access the element. Sorry, access the value exactly. So the element. So let me copy here and paste. So here, I'm just printing into the console log. That's it. Okay. So kids details. You can say that kids details. Okay. So this is the complete thing. So first customer from the family details. Try to see the try to understand this thing. Name, price. So otherwise the name, price, this one just I'm going to copy here for understand first customer. You can get the idea. Here, this is the thing. Okay. So family details I got it. In the family details I got in the kids because of this is the object. So in this way you can get that. Again, I wanted the first kid. I wanted to get the Robert J. I wanted to print the Robert J value. So I wanted to print the Robert J value. So see here, the first thing is I got the family details. I got the kids. So output, see that family details, and I got the output. I wanted to get the first record, Robert J only. How we are going to get the first record? What is the code? So ultimate, this is the last task only. So how we are going to? So the task is how you get the first customer family details and family details. I want to get the first kid name. So this is the requirement task right now. This is the task. So whenever working with that, you have to prepare yourself only the task. But I'm telling that my task. Okay, when you are going to prepare your examples, your own examples, to try to give the task from your end only and implement the work. Okay, so now I'm going to take this one. Just to copy here. Just I'm going to copy here. Up to here, we know that kids. First customer, that customer related family details, and I got the kids. I wanted to get the first kid name. So just give the 0. That's it. So 0 in the sense what is up to here, we know that up to here we know that kids. 0 in the sense again the kids, it is written to the, this is the array. This is not the object. How we are going to call the how we are going to access the value from the array? By using the index position, or you can going to call the something by using the index position for the array. So just I'm going to, so kids I got the array, I said that 0. So already we greatly I have discussed the array. So even I did the positions also. So if you see that, so greatly I have explanation I have given this one. Just to try to, if you are not understand the array, how you are going to access that, just to try to go to the array basics and check the data. So how it is working. Okay. So in this way you can get it that I got the first customer. In the first customer, I got the family details, and the family details I got the kids and the zeroth position. So this is the power of the index. So even if your index signature, even apply the array also, you can apply in the object also. That's no problem. So that is the you won't get the any confusion. Just give the index signature and try to access the values. That's it. So first customer, so I got the first customer family details, and then I got the kids, and then I got the what is it. So in case if you get the one, so see the output, I will show you the output first of all. So now let me say the save all and see that output. So last one. So let me say that kid name. Let me say that kid name. Something I'm going to give the kid name something. So I say that some of the object. So kids details I got it and kid name I got it. So let me say that here one. Let me say that one. So definitely it will give the second first what it will give the Smith. Okay, in this way you can access the value from the object. Now your task is, I'm going to give the one task here. How do you add the ages to the kids? I just give the name only here, name. How you are, I want, how you are going to, if you wanted to add the ages, something 5 years kid or 10 years kid, how you are 1 year kid or something, how you are going to add the ages to the kids. That is our task. Just you can take anything. Just I wanted to add the ages, new property. How you are going to add the ages to the kid. So keep in mind, objects and arrays are the very powerful, important concepts in the JavaScript. If you know object and array, how you are going to create the object and create the array, so you can easily handle the code into the real-time projects. The main thing is you should practice the object and array. Everything is in the format of object and array only. You are getting the collection of the data from the database, that is the array. Okay, you might be get the collection of the array of the objects from the database, that is the array of objects. So if you know the, if you try to understand these things, the same example, just imagine that the same data I have created the in the front end, right here in the JS file. When you are working the real-time project, you might be get the same data from the database. Okay, so try to create the how, just to try to understand how you are going to access the values. Okay, next concept is the loop loops. So I'm going to add the loops here. So concept is loops. Okay, so first of all, loop. So maybe whenever whoever are having the knowledge on the C language or C++ or anything, there is a something called as a loop concept into the C and C++ or something. The same way we are having the also concept in the looping in the JavaScript. That is nothing but the JavaScript. Okay, so loop is nothing but the collection of the, nothing but a collection of the something, uh, you can say that instructions, something. Okay, so there is a one, something statements you have to execute. Something, some few statements or something few statements you have to execute based on some condition. So then that situation we're going to use the loop. So looping, what is the nothing but it's a kind of instruction. It's continually repeated until the some condition is going to be satisfied on that. So important concepts in the JS is for while and for loop. For loop and while. We are having one more loop called as a do while. So no need to focus on much on that. So while and for loop. So looping is nothing but the something instructions. So instructions. So one the it's going to be give some instruction. So follow this instruction. So you wanted to execute some statements. So those statements you have to execute based on some instruction. Okay. So execute the, I'm going to execute the, execute the statements. Simple thing for understanding. Statements based on the instruction. Okay, instructions. Instruction or instructions is okay. So how we are going to do that? How we are going to handle the code? Where exactly we are going to use this kind of, this kind of looping in the application? Looping in the application. Okay, so here I wanted to, so for example, I wanted to print the customer IDs 1 to 10. Okay, I wanted to print task one. So task one, I wanted to try to understand. I wanted to print the uh, customer IDs from 1 to 10. Try to understand. I wanted to print the customer IDs from 1 to 10. I don't want to initialize the like this way. We know that this is a old style, right? So this is also better, so it's okay. So manually you are going to write the uh, so we can do like this. Otherwise, so in the statement it's the same thing. I don't want to give this kind of statement. I don't want to give that. I wanted to print this kind of I wanted to print this kind of variable based on the some instruction, based on the based on some instruction. I wanted to print this. Okay, so first of all, looping is nothing but the sequence of the instructions, and those instructions continually repeated until whenever your condition is going to be satisfied. Okay, so here, for example, I'm having the some in statements, some I'm having the 2 3 statements. I wanted to repeatedly execute the 2 3 statement that statements until those 3 statements reach to the one kind of a instruction. So for example, let me show you the one proper example so you can get the idea what is exactly looping. So looping here in the JavaScript, you can handle the looping in in 3 ways. So we can say that, so many ways I can say the many ways. So as of now, you can say that while and for loop, this is the important concepts. Why I'm going to tell you that is these concepts regularly we are going to in the JavaScript. The main thing is for loop and while loop. This is I can say there is a very basic loops. This is a very basics way. This is a basic way we can handle we can handle the statements by using the instructions. So I will show you that one example, you can get the idea. So for example, let me take the same example, the same thing. So same thing I wanted to print the customer IDs 1 to 10. Okay, so let me say that customer IDs. So for example, first of all, I'm going to take the customer IDs here. So let me take the one empty array. Empty array in the sense values doesn't have the any array. Okay, so let me say that one more variable. Let me say that I can say that 0 0. So one more thing, let me say that length. So I'm going to take the some 3 variables here. Length, I'm going to take this some, let me say that 10. Okay, so I'm taking the one empty array, I'm taking the one index, and I have taken the one length, 10th value. So I wanted to print the 1 to 10. Okay, so in this case I said that as per discussion we can handle the what is the, so I wanted to execute the same kind of output by using the while loop. So while is the one kind of a loop also. Why I'm saying that while loop, whenever I'm going to say that there is one more condition for loop, I will explain that what is the for loop. So as of now, just try to understand what is the while loop. I wanted to get this kind of a same output by using the while loop. So for that, what I'm taking, right? So let me copy this one syntax, this one. So how we are going to use the while here to print the 1 to 10 values. So let me copy and paste here the same statement here. I wanted to apply the some instruction. You can say that condition or instruction and is okay. So I say that instruction, right? You can say that instruction if you are having any doubt. So use the instruction here. So I'm going to one instruction. What kind of instruction I'm going to use that? So based on the instruction, I wanted to execute this statement. If you wanted to execute the statements continuously, repeatedly until one condition is going to be satisfied, then use the looping system. Looping system is having the two kind of looping systems. So, as of now, I'm going to explain the two kind of looping system. There is one is the while loop and one is the for loop. Okay, so now I'm going to explain this. See, simple thing is what instruction I'm going to say that right now. In the sense, just whatever the wrapper. So just imagine that. Keep in mind, in the looping system, whatever the what are the statements within the wrapper, it is continually, it's going to be executed continuously until and then this continues, it's going to be executed until and then your instruction is going to be satisfied. So what I'm going to give the instruction in the sense, I'm going to take the one customer IDs here. So customer IDs, okay. What I'm going to write, I'm going to take the not customer IDs, something I'm going to tell the index. Okay, I'm going to tell the index here. So here I'm going to give the some one kind of a instruction I'm going that. So what I'm going to telling that in the sense, take the index value, index in the sense 0, take the length value 0. That means that internally think that this is the meaning that what I'm telling that 0. So this is a very thing. So instead of the 0 and 100, I just take the two variables, that's it. Okay, take the index and take the length value. And what so basic setup, what I'm doing, right? Basic things what I'm doing, right, internally. So whenever, so customer, see that what I'm doing, that customer ID dot push index, see that what I'm doing, simple. So simple what I'm telling that in the sense, take the one condition, index and length condition. I'm going to tell the so just whatever the statements in the looping system, it is continuous, it will be executed until the one condition is going to be satisfied. So as of now, when the first time it is going to be entered, it is index 0 and this is correct only, it's a true only, it's a true only. So whenever it's a true, it will be entered the application and it will be entered to here JavaScript compiler. So simply what I'm taking, right, what is the index here, I'm going to take that index, I'm going to insert into the customer IDs. And then what I'm doing, right, I'm going to increment the index plus equal to 1. So already we have discussed this in the number system. Okay, every day I said that the first day time only, everything is going to be continuously connected with the next classes. So already we are kind of statement what kind of this kind of addition place is equal to 10. So we did one kind of code just to try to check that before you are going to check this condition. So I have taken the one thing, index plus 1, index plus equal to 1, in the sense what is the meaning of, in the sense every loop. So here I am adding plus 1 to the index. That's it. That is the meaning of this. So what is that? When I'm going to looping that, so it is coming to the index plus 1. So what happened, right? It will be first 0 is there. So I'm going to add the 0 plus 1. So it will become to the 1. So again, once it is looping the system, it's coming that. So again, after that, it will come to the 1. So length is always, I didn't touch the length, just I'm going to incrementing that length. So this is satisfied. So what has happened? I'm going to take the what is the record, the index record. I'm going to push into the here. Again, what of the next statement? I'm going to what of the index. I'm just going to be incrementing on that. Okay, I'm just again it will come back to the 2 here. Again 2. So 2, this is okay. 2, this is the correct one. 2 less than or equal to 10. That's correct only. So again it will go into 2. It will take 2, and then it's going to be insert into the customer ID. So in this way, what happened, right? I can insert the data. Okay, so now see the data. Now you can see the console.log here. Console.log here. You can see the customer IDs. Now see the code how it's look like. And coming back to the index.html, I'm going to update that script. Okay, so I'm going to take the okay, so loops I'm taking here. So now check that code. Now how it's look like. So if you go to here, see that the code, same thing. I got the 0 to 10. So once index reach to the 10, so 10 it's print. Whenever index is reached to the 11, the condition, what is the instruction that is going to be not satisfied. So that's the reason this statement is going to be open. Until and then it's continually, it is going to be repeated. Continually, the statements is going to be executed continuously. So whenever my instruction is going to be get the false, then it won't be execute that. So this instruction, so what I'm first time 0 I have taken. So after that I have increment the index with the 0 plus 1. Again, it's come back to the 1 here. It will going to take the value. Okay, next time again I'm going to, so this is the powerful line number 32 is the important. The way how we're going to increment. When I'm going to remove this one, what will happen, right? See that. When I'm going to remove this, see that what will happen. Just write nothing here. So nothing here. 1 second. Oh, no. Okay. When I'm going to say that not length, I'm going to say the 3. Let me stop here. So if you wanted to stop the execution, downside here port number is there. So you just stop the port number and start again. That's it. Here click to close the server. Whatever the server in the sense, this one. If you wanted to close the, if you wanted to stop the debugger, just to click on that, it will be stop the your execution process. Okay. So now back to here. See that now console is contained to the 4 records. When I'm going to say that explicitly, I'm going to say that print 2 only. So continuously it will be print up to 2 only. When I'm going to say that explicitly, when I'm going to say that 100, continuously it will be repeated on up to 100. But instead of the 100 or 10, I'm going to just take the length value. That's it. Length in the sense it is a 10. So it is continuously print the 10th value. Index, first time index, it is a 0. And I'm going to continuously repeating, I'm going to index plus 1, index plus 2 or something. You don't, so until and the operation is going to be satisfied here. Okay, so even if you are going to remove this one also, what will happen, right? One second, let me check the here. Okay, it's keep on executing that. Okay, so when you are working with the while loop, just to try to uh, prepare the just one as an example, so just to prepare the what is the condition you are going to apply, that condition you have to focus on that. So right now, as of now, what I'm saying that here I'm going to increment the plus one only. So until it is going to be so first time this is a 0, second time 1, third time this is a 2. How it is increment in the sense line number 32, it's going to increment, it's incrementing to me. Okay, so let me stop this one because of I know that this is it's giving the infinity values. So when I'm going to remove this condition, so that's why I'm stopping the uh, server. Okay, the same way, the same code, the same thing, the while loop, we have to check that, right? So same code, how we are going to deal with by using the for loop. For how we are going to deal with by using the for loop. For simple statement, just have written the only 3 lines of code. Try to practice this one. Just to remove the index, remove the 3, and put the some 1 or 2 or something. Okay, so the same way, how we are going to write the for loop. So writing the same code with the for loop, but the for loop in the here, while we are having the we are only one parameter, we are having the only one parameter here, but the for loop we are having the 3 parameters. Just that is the only difference. That's it. The only difference is we are having the 3 parameters while in the for loop. While in the for loop. Okay, so let me take the one example here for handling the for loop. So I'm having the same thing. There is nothing difference. Here we are having the one only one parameter. I'm saying that parameter in the sense which is in the parenthesis, that's called the parameter. I'm saying that parameter here. Try to understand. Here I'm having the 3 parameters. One, this is the 2, and this is the 3. 3 parameters. Let me remove the space also. So I will tell you that first of all, what is the parameter in the sense we have to initialize the value and then apply the condition and initialize the target value. Very simple thing. So just we'll see that how we are going to do that. Just I'm going to copy here this syntax. I'm going to just copy and paste here. Okay, so I said that initialization value. So only the same thing, same approach. I wanted to get the 1 to 10 records, same approach, but I'm going to use the for loop. That's it. Okay, so the for loop is what I'm doing right here. Initialization value in the sense, instead of the initialization value, what I'm doing right, let me take the index is equal to 0. Same thing, same output. I'm saying that I wanted to print the 0 to 10 records. And then what I'm doing right, I'm going to use the index length. So index length, I'm going to prepare the one what is the variable, what is the I'm going to initialize the value, and then I'm going to apply the condition, what kind of condition I'm going to apply. So I'm going to target the initialization value. So here what I'm doing right, I'm going to write the index is equal to index plus 1. So anything is okay. Otherwise you can prepare the index plus plus. So what will happen, right? Every time it's going, what is the meaning of in the sense? It will be increment each and every loop. That's it. So initially I'm taking the 0. First time when I'm going to enter the application, it is taking the 0th value, and whenever it's again looping, once all the statements is executed, again, what is the exactly meaning of this? You know, looping system in the sense all the statements which are in the looping, it will be continually executed. So continuously it's going to be internally continuously it's going to be executed, but based on the your conditions it's going to be executed based on your conditions. It's otherwise if you are remove this one, what will happen, right? It is continuously going to be executed. So you have to control, you can say that you have to control to repeated those statements. How we are going to control to repeated those statements here? Then you have to use this kind of a where this kind of a validations. You can say that this kind of a conditions. Okay, so what I'm saying that take the zero. First of all, I'm going to take the one continuously. This is going to be repeated. I'm controlling on that. So how we are going to controlling in the sense, I'm going to use the var index zero here. I'm taking the some index zero. So zero in the sense by default zero. Length, I'm taking the length is equal 10. Otherwise, if you are having confusion, I'm going to remove the length here. I'm going to give the some 10th. Okay, and what I'm doing that I'm going to adding the each and every repetition. I'm going to increment the index with the plus one. That's it. So statements here, what I'm going to write the statements here. So what I'm doing, write the statements in the sense, I'm going to take the customer IDs and push. I'm going to write the index. That's it. Okay, so what will happen first time whenever I'm going to repeatedly it is executed, I'm taking the index. Okay, coming to here, I'm checking the condition. Okay, index 0 10. Okay, sorry, first thing is 0, next thing is 1. Okay, 1 less than 10. Okay, so next time when it's looping, I'm going to increment the value. So I'm going to initialize, so target the initialization value in the sense, what is the target I'm doing in the sense, I'm incrementing. That's it. I'm just increment. What is the target? You can apply any condition. You can decrement, you can multiply, multiple, you can do the division, multiplication. If you want to, you can do that. If you want the remaining thing, you can do any kind of things you can follow on here. So as of now, just I'm going to incrementing the index value each and every repetition. So first one, so repetition in the sense every repetition is a repeated. What I'm saying that, right? It is continuously repetition, right? First repetition, second repetition, third repetition, fourth repetition, fifth repetition, seventh, eighth, ninth, and coming to the 10th here. So I say that 10th. So 10 less than 10, it is condition is false. So this repetition is going to be stopped. Okay, until and then it is continually is going to be repetition. So continuously it is going to be repeated continuously. So it is going to be stop. When I'm going to stop here, I'm going to say that what I'm going to say that in the sense I'm saying the so I'm saying the 10 less than 10. It's when I'm going 10 10. So whenever my index contains that 10, so what will happen? It will be this is not, this is a false statement. So then it won't be, it will be, I'm going to forcefully, I'm going to stop here. Otherwise continuously repeated. So first statements, so continuously internal, what will happen, right? Continuously is going to be repeated. If you want to cross check, just to go to use the console.log. So for example, if you want to do the something monitor of the this index, you can do that. That's no problem. You can do the monitor the index. Okay, so now here see that. So 0 1. So I'm going to print here first of all, monitoring the index. I'm going to monitor in the index. So once this is completed, let me go to the some console.log here. Customer IDs here. Let me say that customer IDs. So you can see that customer IDs. The last version is the customer IDs. That's okay. Monitoring the index. Customer IDs. So I'm going to take the customer IDs. Let me say that one. That's good for understanding purpose. So customer IDs one. I'm going to take the customer IDs, not the customer IDs, customer IDs, because of already uh, the same variable it has declared earlier. So just I'm going to remove that. So customer IDs, I'm taking that. So customer IDs I've taken. So I'm going to push that into the index and see that. Just to focus on this one only. So you have to focus on this one only. So first thing is I'm initially I have taken the one value 0, and then I'm going to take the some index is 0 less than or equal, but initial basic setup here up to here. After that, what happened? I'm going to increment the value index plus plus in the sense repeat. I'm going to continue whenever the one repetition, I'm going to add the one value. Okay, so in this way you can handle that. The same way, example to what I'm saying, one more example for understanding more on that example. One more example. So I wanted to find the total price of the total. I wanted to get the total price. So we know that what is the total price. I wanted to get the total price of the values in the given by the array. Total price, I'm saying that, not only minimum, not on the maximum, not in the average. I wanted to get the total price. So how we are going to do that? Okay, so here, so just I'm going to take the one. So as usual, I've just taken the 0. So whenever, keep in mind, whatever, whenever work in the for loop, just to make the first value is the 0th only, 0th index. So make this is the default value. So after that, what is the condition you want? So what is the condition? I'm saying that I'm taking the one index. So this is the same thing, index 0. I'm taking the customer's price dot length. Length already we have covered. Length here it is with the 1, so 2, 3. So 5 values I'm having here. 5 values. So customers 0, 5 values. I'm going to take the every repetition. I'm going to increment the index value. 0th index, first index, second index, third index, fourth index, like that. I'm going to increment the value. Array, I'm going to increment the value. So what happened, right? So I'm going to take the one total price here, simple one total price. Initially, I'm taking the some 0th value here. So first, when it is, we know that it is going to be repeated every time. So I'm going to take the total price plus equal to customer prices 0. So what will happen right here? So customer 0 by default, we know just we have covered the array. Array, how we are going to get the value? Customer prices not 0. I can say that index here. Okay, so what will happen? So first value, what is the first value here? 0. So customer 0, in the sense what will happen? 101 it's coming, and it will come into the total price. Second one, what will happen, right? Next value 200 plus 90 it will come. Okay, so 101 plus 09, 290, what will happen? It will be add on that. Okay, so third looping system. So third one, so third thing. So whenever I'm going to third repetition, what will happen? I'm taking the index of the customer prices, and I'm going to attach to the existing value. So total price, now it will contain the sum of the two values. I'm going to append into the total price. So in this way, it is going to be works up. Okay, so now we see the output now. So I got the output is 1129.55 price. So this is the way you can get the total price. So just to focus on that. So the main thing, if you wanted to understand this, again, I'm saying that go to the number basics. So first class only we have covered this kind of how we are going to do that. Just to try to get it that, then you can come to here again, just to try to practice on this one if you are not understand this one. Okay, so here, if you wanted to practice more on that, so console.log, if you want, what is the one you wanted to focus here? So I wanted to check the first, you are saying the repetition, right? So I'm going to take the index value, first value, what could be the value, index. So I wanted to index. So what is the index? Okay, if you are understanding this one, just try to take the one more thing, one more console log. See that I'm going to print the something customer price here, customer index. So what would be the customer index? Index, what will happen? Continually, it's going to be repeated. 0, first repetition, next repetition 1, next repetition 2, next repetition 3, next repetition 4, next repetition 5, next repetition it won't come because of it is won't be satisfied this condition. It won't be executed. It will simply skip on that from that place. Okay. So if you want to see that, the great thing is you can get it. So first index 0, index 101. Okay, so what will be the value? So here the value. So if you want to monitor anything, if you wanted to check more on that, okay, if you wanted to check more on that, so first one, first index number, I'm going to say that first repetition. So better you try to practice this one. So second, so what is the index value? You can say that customer price. So I will say that I'm going to remove this one. So as of now, try to understand. So first index number is I don't have the total price. Whenever I'm going to index 1, I'm having the total price. Whenever index price 2, total price. Whenever index number 3, total price. I'm continue. So total price getting the index 4. After that index 4, see that 5 it is not printing. 5 it is not printing. I'm just to stop that 5 print because of I feel that I don't have the more than 5 records here. So 6, I don't have the 10 records. Just have based on the condition, it is not coming. So up to here on it came because of based on this condition. Okay. Again, I'm saying that whatever you wanted to execute these statements repeatedly, and those statements repeatedly, you can stop by using the conditions. These kind of statements entirely you can say that looping system. Okay, looping system, looping system. Okay, so one last thing is, so I'm going to prepare the one more example here. So then I will close the call. So looping system, this is a looping system. So simply see that all the statements you can execute until and then once your state once your condition is going to be satisfied. So you can control those repeated statements by using the conditions. First repetition, second repetition, third repetition, fourth repetition, all the statements are executed with the repetitions only. First repetition, okay, that's okay, you can carry on. I'm saying that, yeah, you can get second repeat, yeah, you can carry on. Third, okay, you can carry on. Fourth, okay. Fifth, okay. Sixth, no, it's not okay because of my condition is wrong. Index, whatever trying that index plus plus, it is okay, it's going to increment as usual. Six, less than or equal to customer price, it's 5. No, it's not okay. So simply it's going to be stopped here. That is the for loop. Okay, for in the sense for looping. So continuously executing, continually based on the up to your condition is going to be satisfied. Continuously repeated until your condition is going to be satisfied. We can say that. Now the same example, I wanted to create one more example for the looping only for better approach. So I'm going to take the one more example, loops advanced.js. Okay, loops up.js I have taken. So let me go to the index.html, and here so I wanted to write the one example here. So for example that, so loops and functions, you can say that let me create the one array of objects, array of objects, array of objects. Here I'm creating the two objects, array of the objects. Here keep in mind the main important thing is here I wanted to get the customer record based on the name, customer name. Okay, I'm going to prepare the one function. In the function, I'm going to write down the looping system. What I'm saying that, right? Try to understand. I wanted to get the customer record based on the customer name. So if I'm going to say that parameter customer name, John, so if I'm going to say the customer name, Peter soon is senior, then I wanted to get the record of this guy. When I'm going to say that customer name, Clark, I wanted to get this record. Okay, this object record. So how we are going to get that? Okay, so for that, just I'm going to write the one function. Just I will explain you that first of all, then you can easily get that. So without writing the code, I'm going to explain the thing first of all. So I'm going to take the one function. So try to understand without writing the code. So don't see the code first of all. Try to understand the concept. So concept is loops and function. You can say that loops with functions. How to use loop in the function. The concept is how to use the loop in the function. And here the task, whatever the task I'm going to say that I wanted to get the task I have prepared the object. I have prepared the object. So one object I have prepared. So task is, so task. First to try to understand this task, then you can see the code task. So task in the sense, I wanted to I want to get the customer record based on the customer name. Okay, so how you are going to do that? Whenever I'm going to say that these two things, these two things, it's come to your mind. So these two things, it should become your mind. So okay, so you said that you want to get the customer record based on the customer, right? So then I'm going to take the one parameter customer name, and then I'm going to I will return the data. But the thing is here, the challenging in the sense, I wanted to use the looping system. How you are going to apply that? So for that, I'm just to use the one thing. So I've just to use the one customer name here. So I'm going to use the one function here. So as of now, I'm just passing the Clark as a value. Okay, so now I'm going to pass the Clark as a value. So here customer name I'm going to capture anyway. It will, we know that up here it will capture here customer name. Now it will capture the Clark value. Coming here, first of all, I'm going to define the one null value. So null value in the sense, now what is the meaning of null in the sense? Null in the sense no value is available for that. That is null value. Your mind is empty, our mind is empty. So someone saying that that's kind of we can decide that how we are going to define that in this null value. There is a null, there is a null in my location, so nothing, there is nothing inside on that. Okay, that is a kind of a data type, so that is nothing. So now what is the thing, right? I have taken the customers list. So customer list, whatever the value is, so this customers list, this is a global variable. Already we have discussed about the scopes. So what is the function scope, everything. So if you go to the scope, so here just try to check with the scope here. Control P I press here. So if I'm going to get the control P, we will get that. So here let me type with the scope. So just to check the scope before we are going to, if you wanted to understand how we are going to access this one customer list into the here, just I'm taking the customers list anyway, it will contain to the two values, two records here. We know the two records, right? Two records in the two objects, everything is the record only in the array. So I'm having the two, you can say that as of now I'm going to say that two objects instead of that, two objects. So what is the length of the objects? Two. First one and second one, two. Okay, two things I'm having, two. So what I'm taking, right, I'm going to take the customers list that length index plus plus again. So until it will going to be satisfy the condition. Okay, so here customer dot length I'm going to take is, I'm going to give the two. Okay, two here I'm saying that two, right? So now what I'm doing, that I'm taking the some two console logs for understanding purpose only. I have taken the two customers. So what I'm taking, right, I wanted to get the, what is the exact thing in the sense, I wanted to get the record, that name which contains the Clark. So whenever it's coming to here, again it is going to be started here. So the first record, what is the first record, what I'm saying, that first record only I'm going to checking that. So first record I'm going to checking that. So I'm going to checking the first one. So I'm going to checking the this record. So first ignore this console logs here as of now. I'm going to check that customers list index. Index in the sense, what is the index? Zeroth index, first record, first one index. Enter in that first repetition, you can say that first repetition, first one, first step. So index is here 0, customers list 0 dot name. What will be the value? That value will be the Clark. What is that? Clark, right? So the same record I'm going to checking here. So I'm going to checking with the customer name. So what I'm passing, Clark only here. I'm not passing anything. I'm not passing any triple S or something. I'm just passing the Clark. Exactly what I'm passing, that is a Clark. So we know that this is definitely, it will give the correct result set. It is definitely give the correct result set. So what I'm doing, right, whenever it is satisfied, again I'm taking the one null value just now we have discussed, right? Null value, it is nothing, the value, no value. First of all, first installation, there is nothing. So after that, I have whatever the thing is there, I just have taken the one record, that is the customers list index, which represents the first record. Customers list 0 in the sense, what will be the value? First record, right? So I'm going to store into the this value customer, and then I'm returning on that. So just for as of now, just I'm commenting the console logs just to try to understand these things only. Only one condition, only if condition, that's it. One thing, try to understand this one. First repetition, and even if it comes to second repetition also, second time it won't be satisfied. Second time what will happen, right? Index will be come to the one dot name in the sense, that is a John is here. Actually here Peter Senior is there, but it is not satisfied. It won't be come inside of that. It won't be written anything. So it will be repeated until, so first repetition. What will happen? First thing is it will 0, checking that, yeah, it's correct. I'm taking the value and storing to the customer, and that's it. And the second repetition, whatever this is not the correct. So anyway, it won't be override. So what will happen, right? Whatever the thing I'm having that, I can just I'm returning on that. That's it. Again, for loop, I'm taking the for loop. How the main thing is heading. You have to note how to use the looping in the function. So for that, I have taken the one object in the object. So what is the task? I have said that in the object task, I wanted to get the customer record based on the customer name. Customer record. You can, if you're not the understand record, I can say that customer object. You can say that as of now here for this example, you have to say the customer object. Generally, you have to say that customer record. Okay. I wanted to get the customer object based on the customer name. That is our requirement. The require parameter what I'm going to pass the customer name. Return type is the customer object. Return type should be I wanted to get the customer object, right? Return type should be the customer object. Okay, so for that I got the task. So the simple thing is I have created the customer one function. I'm passing the customer name. Target is it should be written the customer object. So what kind of a customer object in the sense? So I'm taking the for loop here. First of all, I'm doing the looping system to the array customer. So what kind of doing I'm doing that in the sense for array from the array customer list is the one array, right? So in that array, what I'm taking that the array in the first record I'm checking that array. So now what is the value I'm getting? The first one value I'm getting that. So so here what I'm doing, right? So index customer length dot length for the array, this one it will return the two value. We know that. Okay, so here what I'm taking, right? First in this array, customer list is the array, right? In the array, I'm checking the what is the index, zero index, and this one. Yeah, this is the correct only. Okay, I'm going to take in this value. Coming to the again second system, second first repetition. I'm going to take the same array, but index position has changed here because of the index plus plus I did, right? So one dot name ptr senior is come, so it won't be executed. So now come back to here. So now it's come to here. So it won't be anyway. It won't be. It will give the false value here. So I'm going to take here and I'm going to print here. So instead of the here Clark, I'm going to take the Peterson. So Peter Junior. So I'm going to take the Peter. So now you can see the actually you are getting the data, right? So here you got the data. Actually here you got the data. So now next minute is what I'm going to write. I'm going to use the uh, Peter Senior. Okay. So now what will happen when I'm going to Peter Senior? See that I'm going to save the record. I got the Peter. Sorry, I got the Peter Senior. Okay. When I'm going to use the again, I'm going to revert it back to the John here. See that John. So I got the John. Sorry, John. I think John is not there. Clark is there. Okay, when I'm going to John, because of I'm repeating, I'm getting the null value because there is no records with the John. So when I'm going to tell to the Clark, when I'm going to tell to the Clark, see that I'm going to get the data. Sorry. So I got the Clark data. So just to try to, this is the only in the real time also you are going to apply the this kind of conditions only. This is the only actually this is the process we are going to apply that into the real time scenarios. For loop, if conditions, switch case conditions, objects, arrays, functions, everything you have to practice. Everything. Okay. So try to understand this function again. So if you have any doubts, we can discuss on this on tomorrow. Okay. So try to understand these concepts. So function, the way how we are going to write the functions, everything.